Kia ora and aloha, my name is Sam Mangaka here. We're on the beautiful island of Oahu here in Kahuku. I'm excited to share with you what I'm about to work on. I've been commissioned to create a fireplace mantle, which will be a piece for a home in Utah. So we got the chickens with us, got the wind, but I'm excited to share more about the details on how this is done. So in the beginning of the design, I'll create what I'm doing. This is a Polynesian inspired design. From there, we'll take it onto the piece. We have a beautiful piece of monkey pod, and from there I'll sort of explain how I carve and what different techniques I use to do that. So thank you for joining. Aloha. I started out by sanding the slab of monkey pod wood that I got from a wood shop in Wailua here on Oahu. Getting a smooth surface was really important before doing any design work. Once the wood was ready, I measured to find the center, which was going to be the focal point for the drawing of the tree and also the piece. Since this design was symmetrical, I had to be extra careful with the measurements to keep everything even. In the early stages of this project, I sat down with Annette and John, the couple who commissioned me to make this mantle. We talked about their story, and I used that conversation to create a unique design that reflected their journey. Most of my work happens on the iPad, and then I transfer that onto the canvas. To begin the designs on either side of the tree, I started out with a traditional Maori design inspired by the unfurling fronds of a fern plant, also known as the koru. The koru can represent life and new beginnings. Within the koru design, there are 4 specific parts that represent the 4 children. Each of those children now have children of their own, and so within those designs represent also their offspring. It's always a discovery to figure out what piece should go where, and so for this particular area, this is actually located at the base of the mountain. In the center of the piece is the tree, and then on the wings you'll see in the later clips that this is actually positioned underneath the mountain. When I think about the positioning of this particular design, for me it makes sense as the family is the central unit of society, and with that holds all pieces of our human existence together. During this process, I'm always learning new things. This is maybe not the best way, but it's one of the ways of transferring a design from one side to the other. The next design above the koru is a Hawaiian-inspired design that represents the ridgeline along Ko'olauloa, the local mountain range nearby. A lot of my designs are inspired by my cultural background, books that I read, and also a big part of it comes from nature. Pretty much anywhere I look, there's inspiration to pull from. The blue oceans, the green forests, waterfalls, and all the wildlife surrounding. Alright, my sketch is finished. Let's get ready to carve. I used a variety of chisels, V-chisels, rounded, flats. Each chisel has a specific purpose, and it's super helpful to have the whole range while you're working on your piece. Having a sharp chisel is essential for a clean piece. When I see my chisel get worn down, whether I hit a knot or angle the chisel in a certain way, I like to use a really high grit sandpaper and just rub the chisel on that. I also have a sandstone, which also helps. There are so many different tools that you can use to sharpen the chisel, but those are my quick go-tos. After a year of discussing this project with the Packer family, it was so exciting to finally bring it all to life. The whole process was very therapeutic, especially working outdoors and with my hands. If you're looking for something to give your mind a rest, but also be engaged, carving for me has been that thing. A common question that I get asked a lot is, what do you do when you mess up? I have a fairly simple response: you just keep going, or you incorporate that mistake into the design. Honestly, wood is pretty forgiving if you know how to carve with the grain. So usually you work around any mistakes that happen, and I think it just adds a personal touch to the finished piece. We're almost done with this side. The next step is to carve the left side of the piece, and we'll catch up to you closer to the end. A lot of people say, oh, I don't have the patience for carving. For me, when I think about that, I think it comes down to how you see it in your mind. When you have a clear vision on what it looks like, then it's easier to push through those times where you think that this piece isn't working out, or it looks super ugly, I'm gonna stop. My encouragement to those who are starting out your carving journey is to have patience through those difficult initial challenges. As you push through those stages of initial defeat, it can seem like, and you keep that vision in mind, you'll be able to get through to the end and finish your piece and be proud of it. During this piece, there were many times where I felt like there was no end in sight, but I kept pushing through and was able to not only learn a lot, but discover what my capabilities are and what my next piece will have moving forward. So here we are, we're getting close to the final stages. This is the exciting part, but also very tempting to just call it good. But there's always that extra mile you have to go to finish the piece to make it really stand out. Creating this mantelpiece for the Packer Whanau took over a year. The tree in the design symbolizes the love of God and the eternal nature of family. The wings represent each family member, and the arrows at the base symbolize the courage to push forward. There were many discoveries and challenges, but it was all worth it. As I wrap this project up, I have a huge favor to ask. Share this video with someone who needs to share their story. I believe we all have a story and it deserves to be told. You might think your story isn't worth sharing, but when you step out there, you'll find that you're not alone, and someone, especially your own family, needs to hear it. We're here in Huntsville, Utah. It's pretty cold. We're here to visit the Packer family and to see the final mantelpiece installed. Let's go have a look. Okay, we're inside. We're here with Annette, the beautiful Annette. We're so glad to see the ohana over here and check out the final piece installed into the fireplace.
We love it so much.
So let's have a look. All right. Oh my goodness. Wow. It's cool to see this finally with the whole interior designed and finished and completed. Wow. Yeah, come over here. Come be with us. I want to see this with you. How did you do this?
It's a vinyl piece that they put on top of this metal.
When we first started this project, I sat down with the family and we got the story and the things that they wanted represented. And so in the middle of the piece is the tree of life. On the sides of the wings is a Māori inspired pattern to represent the family, the kids, the relatives. And then this design here, inspired by the glow along the mountain range. So when the sun sets, you can see this glow. And so that's this design here. It's called the Celestial Lake.
When we decided to build this cabin, we wanted a piece of Hawaii in it because our daughter teaches at BYU Hawaii and lives in Laie. And so We wanted something very Hawaiian. Our other son graduated from BYU Hawaii, so it was important to have something that represented that culture. And so our daughter Kate said, oh, you have to meet my friend Sam. He will do something. And I had in mind a wall hanging that's about the size of that basket. If you can see that basket, that's what I had in mind. Some sort of a Hawaiian piece that we could hang on the wall. And then John had the idea that maybe we should put something over the mantle.
We wanted the center to be the Tree of Life because this is a family home. And so the Tree of Life really represents a lot of why we built this home, to gather families together and strengthen families. And then kind of Sam took it from there to incorporate. We have 4 children, so he's got 4 designs representing our 4 children. And we have a grandson who's passed. And so that represents him there. And this represents our ancestors looking down at us, so kind of other side of the veil. But all these have meaning and kind of tied to the concept of families being eternal.
Mm-hmm. And we love it. We got to watch Sam through the entire process as he drew it out on paper, and as then he started carving. We have all these wonderful videos of the actual hand carving of this piece, which made it just so much more impactful for us. And then he shipped it. He overnighted it, and it came, and our neighbors came to video us, and I think I cried as he opened it because it's so beautiful, and having all that family meaning tied into this piece was just incredible. And so now that it's up on our mantle, we absolutely love it. I think it's the highlight of our cabin. We call it a cabin. It's a beautiful home, but we love this piece so much, and whenever anyone comes, they're drawn to this piece because it's absolutely fantastic. And then the meaning around the side gives everyone an opportunity to understand what all these beautiful designs mean and how impactful they are for us. It's like, let's go bigger.
I mean, when we saw the architectural thing of this mantle, it's just like, boom. This is the focus of our room. Tree of Life.
Ooh, I want to see it. Ah!
Wow.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, it's so gorgeous.
That is beautiful.
Oh, it's incredible. The tree of life. It makes me cry. It's so pretty. Oh, but I just can't. I mean, it's so beautiful.
If you've made it this far, I strongly encourage you to share your story through any medium, whether that be writing in your journal, creating an art piece, or working with me to bring to life something just like the Packer family. I truly believe that this art form is a gift from our tupuna, our ancestors. I feel privileged to continue to share this tradition and innovate into the future. He mihi nui kia koutou katoa, ka pai tō koutou rā, mā te atua koutou e manaki. Made with Aroha, Sam.